Welcome to photography class. This is April 21st. Um, so I've been looking at some of your work. Very impressed. We're doing great. We're going to review some of it today. Yeah, and we're just going to keep it up. Some quick announcements I'm going to go through first. Um, you know, a lot of this stuff is more for some of my other classes than for you guys. I want to just say straight up, creative photography class, not everyone, but most everyone is staying engaged and is turning in their work. Um, Big props. I'm very happy. I really miss you guys. We've had a fantastic class throughout the year, and it does suck that we're not going to be able to finish up our projects in person, but we'll do the best we can in this situation. Just keep doing your best. I'm not gonna, you know, I, I'm not gonna be as critical as I would be in person, but that doesn't mean to just, turn in whatever. You guys, out of all of my classes, seem to be on track, turning in good work, thoughtful work, um, and pushing your artwork forward. And I really do recognize that. As always, something is better than nothing. If all you have is your phone, use your phone. Some of you guys have actual cameras. I think Matthew, I think Sarah, you guys, and Jessica, if you guys have cameras, use the cameras instead of your phone. I mean, why would you? Why would you not? Use the better equipment. We all have to adapt. I understand that you might not be able to get Photoshop or Lightroom. If you can't, well, I've thrown some options out there for people that can't. Just use whatever you can for editing. We haven't actually started editing yet. We will. What I would suggest though is if you are shooting on a camera, set the settings to RAW. With a RAW photo, when you do go in to edit, you're going to have way more ability to make changes to really tone that image than you would if you're shooting JPEGs. If you're on your phone and all you can get is JPEGs, hey, we have to adapt, right? We all must adapt. Okay, communicate. You can see over here, this is our creative photo class, right? You get to this by going to class notebook, right? Content library, lesson objectives, right? And then if you click in here, here we are. If you need to message me privately, you can see I have some private channels started with students. Unfortunately, I don't have one for everyone. What I need you to do is email me or just write in the general channel that you need to talk to me, and then I'll make us a private channel. If you email me, I'll get it immediately. Teams, if you make a post saying I need to talk to you, then I'll make us a private channel. That'll work. If you message me in Portal, Focus, I will get it, but it's going to take longer. Okay, and it's not very intuitive. The messages, if I get a ton of messages in there, they pop up, and sometimes I have to look something up in order to answer your question. And if I go to look it up, the message vanishes. I can't answer. So please, guys, just email or Teams. It's way easier than Focus. Okay. So next, and I don't think that this applies to anyone here, but I'm going to say it quickly anyway. If your computer doesn't work or you can't get the software, you should be trying to set up a meeting with me so we can get an alternative software. And this goes for really anything. If you need to meet with me, I can just call you. We can do FaceTime. You just need to reach out and we'll get it to work. But if you just aren't reaching out and you're getting further and further behind, well, you're going to see when we get down to our assignments that, it's just more and more points are going to be awarded, right? It's just like any other school time. You have to keep submitting work. Online class is more work than in-person class. You guys seem to all got this. You have to continuously check things. I have had students in some of my classes say, I can't get the software to work. Send me like one message that says that every 2 or 3 days and then not respond to any of my follow-ups and just keep sending me the same, I can't get it to work. with no information. At some point, guys, I've given alternatives that, that's not going to cut it. So, all right, you must download some sort of photo editing software. I have alternatives below, right? Remember all these? Go back and watch the video for this day if you don't know. Okay, so let's look at some inspirational ideas. We're going to start talking about our projects now. So what I really want you to get from this is you need to keep working, even if you're stuck inside. If I give you a bowl of fruit and a window, you can make interesting still life photos. I mean, just think of like some Dutch master paintings, right? Look up still life, Dutch, look up, Renoir, something like that. Rembrandt, you will find some very, very, in fact, why don't we do it right now? Let's see what we come up with. I don't know what we're going to come up with. Let's do it. Dutch masters still life. Look at that. See what I mean? We don't want any of that. This is what I'm talking about, right? It's just light, window, fruit. Now, there are some other ones that are way less intricate than that. Let's see if we can find anything real quick. Yep. Look at that. Okay? So, speaking of still life, you can work inside. You can make an interesting photo out of almost anything. One of the first ones I want to look at, inspiration ideas, Katrine Eisman, she's a photographer that works for Adobe. And on her Instagram, you can click the link here, or you can just go to her Instagram. There's some very interesting stuff here, right? So this is all stuff that she's done since this has all started. Well, not all of it, but the stuff at the top is anyway. And you'll see, right, she's recently been doing, this is her kitchen, right, window light objects. Very interesting. My favorite one is this carrot here. It's very cool. Very cool. We've got, the contrast, right, simplicity, balance. It's very neat. Obviously, this was from before. Down here, right, this is just door handle in our house, the reflection of the light through the glass, very interesting. We're going to look at those later. And, the lake behind her house, right? Down here, we've got window, reflections. So there is cool stuff that you can make, right? Even though we're all stuck inside, our theme is how is your life looking during our quarantine? And there's not one way to answer that question, right? So anything pretty much creative that you come up with that represents that theme will work for this assignment, for this documentary. Okay, so let's go back. Now, this article, St. Pete YouTuber broadcasts his brain surgery. Of course, he's filming self-isolation. Originally, I pulled this for my film and video editing students. However, I'm going to include it here as well because I just want to hammer home that message to you guys that just because we're all home from school for the rest of the year doesn't mean we quit. It doesn't mean that we're not shooting anymore, we're not turning anything in. There's still plenty of interesting things that you can create. Now, I thought about this, and originally when I thought that we were only going to be here for doing, at-home learning for 2 weeks, I thought to myself, well, we can do some Photoshop lessons for 2 weeks. But as it became more and more obvious that we were going to be doing this for the long haul, I'm really not interested in just teaching you guys tutorials on Photoshop. I mean, you can learn that just from watching YouTube. You don't need to get my opinion on your work that way. So I want you to keep creating, That's really the goal here, okay, guys? That's really the goal. I want you to read this article. The link is here, right, in our class notebook. You can go to it here. Just read it. It's about what this guy's doing to keep shooting, even though he can't go anywhere, right? There's a couple of reflection questions that I'm included in the attendance. It's going to be a quiz grade, easy quiz grade, so just go ahead and fill it out. Very simple. Just questions on did you read this or not, basically. So go read it. Take you 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. Article reflection form is under assignments. Yeah, it's the attendance assignment. Just click on that. You'll see the questions there. Okay. You needed 2 photos at first. Then it was 7. You'll see that on the assignment, I've upped it to 20. So it's going to be worth so far 200 points. If you've turned in 7 photos, well, you've earned 70 out of those 200 points so far. Okay? So continue adding to this. We're going to need 20 photos total. So that's 13 more in focus by the end of the week. Now let's talk about how some people are uploading them. We've got people that are doing it correctly, like Brianna here, who put her name, and then we've got people that are not. And I don't know who this is, because this is what I'm trying, this is why I need the names, guys. If you don't put your name in, I don't know who this is. I think that I got Matthew, Evan, and Jessica maybe that didn't put their name in. So I need you guys definitely to put your name in. Honestly, with Brianna here, I wish I had more detail, because you got to remember, I'm not seeing the photo when I'm downloading. So if it said Brianna Pancake, that would work a lot better for me trying to know and organize and sort for this critique. So I'm not going to put any grades in for this yet. I will by the end of Friday. So if you are the person with this, please change it to whoever you are, your name here. I don't know whose it is. Let me say maybe it's Matthew. Well, Matthew Rhino, or Jessica Nurse Rhino, whoever it is, just please put your name in here for me, guys. Okay, so that being said, let's critique some of these images and look at what we've got here. Now, most of you guys shot in portrait mode. I don't really understand why. We've been doing landscape all year. If you want to do this project in portrait mode, because I know that's how you hold your phone, you can turn your phone the other way if you're shooting with your phone. But if you want to do it in portrait mode, that's totally cool. But all of our compositional techniques still matter. So this is an awesome idea, right? I love this nurse rhino painted up. It's really cool. But pay attention to the framing here, right? What is going on with the back end of this thing cut out? Move slightly. Get a good photo. Don't just turn in whatever. Put some artistry behind this. Okay. Pancake. Good idea, once again, but I'm going to say, put in some visual artistry. We have some symmetry, right, between the pan and the pancake. This could have been a way more interesting photo. Maybe if the rectangle doesn't work, I know all of you guys' phones you could change it to square shooting if that works better for you. We just want consistency. The same as when you shot throughout all of the year in class, you want this project to have consistency and the style and the look of the photographs. Excellent lighting here. I love it. I love being creative with it. Just remember, we want to send some sort of message. I'm not sure what the message is here. Maybe with more other photos around it in context, it will work. Keep it up. Love it. Maybe it's just all about this expression and how we're feeling trapped. I don't know. But definitely, definitely interesting. I want the creativity to continue. Okay. I'm not sure if this is in focus or not. So please, please, please make sure that it's in focus. I think this is either Matthew or Jessica. Again, I don't know. This looks to me like it was shot with a camera, mostly because it's in, because of the type of file name here and because of the landscape mode. I love the landscape mode if you're going to go that way. just I would change this to RAW because when we do get to editing, you are going to have more options. If you don't have Photoshop, then maybe you leave it in JPEG. If some of the alternative photos won't let you, or photo software won't let you play with RAW, just it's up to you at this point. You got to try to, whatever software you're using, guys, try to open your photos in it and see if JPEG works or if RAW works. If RAW works, use RAW. All right, let's talk about the framing. I love the simplicity and the white background here. What I don't like is why is this chopped here, right? At least give me a little bit more context. This line is interesting, but I feel like there wasn't as much thought put into the composition as there probably should have been for this. Interesting. I love the foreground background here. Is this saying that we have to be more self-sufficient, right? But then we have this tag back here. Is this, but it looks like the squash is connected to the plant. Good shot. I think this could be interesting. Yeah. Fridge. Is this the back of the fridge? Very cool. You know, we're all probably eating more stuck inside, you know? That's what the stereotype is anyway. I like that it's like this little trapped space in between the fridge in the wall. It makes you feel claustrophobic, which is probably the whole idea behind this. Good, good, I like it. I like it. Good idea here. I like the lines. Everything looks lined up straight. I'm pretty sure though, Sarah, if this has got her name, don't you have a camera? Why are we using our phone here? Also, if you're shooting from a car here, I think this is from a car. It looks like it's through a window. This looks like maybe the bottom of the car. Do me a favor, guys. Stop the car, get out, right? Compose your images when you shoot. If you do that, you won't have this kind of blur, right? Your image will be a lot more pretty. It'll look a lot more interesting when we put them all together. Remember, this is a photographic series. We need consistency here. So if you want it to look good, then you're going to have to take that little bit of time, that minute extra to compose the image. Make sure you're standing straight. She did, I will give Sarah this. She did make all of the lines straight in the image, okay? But I really think this would have worked better if she had taken the 20 seconds to get out of the car, stand there and do it rather than sit in the passenger seat and shoot. Very good shot. I really like this. It shows us exactly what's going on with these empty streets. Again, though, I know this would be tougher because it's a big intersection, but if you could pull the car over, maybe from the sidewalk, I think you'd get a better shot. But good idea, keep it up. You could definitely do something like this and improve upon it, for sure. So I think that this is Evan. Again, I'm not sure because there's no names. But Evan, I like what you're doing with the shapes. If I'm guessing stair and fridge is both you. The shapes here, the squares, I think they really work. But I want you to, when you continue to shoot this, pay attention to the lines. This would look a lot better if the lines across the stairs were straight. The lines here were straight. That means you need to hold your phone. Make sure your phone is straight and not crooked when you're taking the image. This looks like Hannah. Good shot with the dog. I like how he looks sort of sad. Yeah, keep it up. We could do this kind of thing. Very nice shot here with the car down the highway. Again, you guys seem to all be having the same problem where you're not paying attention to some of the compositional elements that we talked about all year. Just because you're using your phone doesn't mean that you're not trying to make everything straight. You're not trying to look at the horizon to make sure the horizon's straight. There's some really cool ideas here, okay? With shooting this type of empty highway, right? I love some of the claustrophobic feelings in the houses, but you still want these to look pretty. If you don't have that, people aren't going to start to think about the deeper theme behind your work. All right, we're going to continue. Oh, wait, I got one more. I'm not sure what this is. Is this a backpack? What I would want you guys to do, like Hannah, why don't you start a new thread in our general right here and explain to us what this backpack is symbolizes, why you took it. We should start having a conversation about each other's work. Did you guys like any of these photos? Did you not like any of these photos? I'm going to try to see if we can come up with a way to be posting these photos so that we all can see them and talk about them with each other in our general thread here. I'm not sure the best way to do it yet, so that might come later in the week or next week. But Hannah, why don't you start a thread about why you posted this? Because I don't really get this one. That's why I picked it. What were you trying to say here? Okay. With that being said, continue shooting. Continue getting your software. I will have another critique video up later on our next class period, which is going to be Thursday. By Friday, guys, you need to have 20 apiece, okay? So if you put up 7, that's 13 more. Keep going. You guys are all doing fantastic. Well, not all of you. The guys of you that aren't putting anything up, you need to get working. But those of you that are putting up work, keep it up, okay? Keep it up. I'll talk to you guys soon.